Back on the dreaded Total War Warhammer 2, and here we are, friends. I'm now up to turn 439, and as you can see, I have just unlimited amounts of money. I make 64, 65 grand a turn, and let me explain to you what happened, because a lot of the advice was fight the Empire, try to buddy up with the Dark Elves and fight the Empire was a lot of the advice I had. Actually, I didn't do that. Let me explain what happened. First of all, I had a game where these guys, the Frenchies, they declared war. But for some reason I had a crash in that game and I had to go back like 10 turns or whatever. So, I mean, I could have started back from the auto save, I guess, but I thought, actually, why not go back and see, if something else could be done? Because obviously when they declared war, all of the Empire declared war. I had a shitload of cash, I'll just tell you that. And I thought, well, I can use the diplomacy mechanics here to try to engineer a situation where I can have a fight on the terms that I want. So basically, I gave the Empire and I gave the Frenchies a wedge load of cash, and I'm talking 100 grand, if not more. In fact, I had to butter them up by paying them gifts every single turn. I was paying them like 30 grand a turn, 30 grand a turn, getting them up to being very friendly, and then I paid them off to essentially sign non-aggression pacts or trade deals or whatever else, basically so that they wouldn't declare war. I then declared war on the Lizard Men. If you remember, the Lizard Men were based in the southeast region, and as you can see, my war against the Lizard Men, with the French and the Empire sitting it out, I also managed to get, I believe, I could be wrong, but I think I also managed to get the Dark Elves to join in with that. Let's have a look. See, look, the Dark Elves stopped being at war with me because they agreed to come in, because they were already at war with the Lizard Men, and I was like, well, I'll come into war with them. I had to pay them another 50 grand, by the way. Let me just say that the diplomacy in this game is just straight up broken. I mean, they require so much money just to do even anything slightly that you want. I think it's partly because I'm playing as the as the vampire counts, and so nobody wants to deal with the vampire, clearly. Nobody wants to deal with the undead. But basically, I'll just very quickly take you through the campaign. I had, where are we? I essentially had Manfred von Karstein. He was up here already. He basically alone took this entire area. Now, there's a little bit of argy-bargy, and these characters here, the Warg. Now, I don't know if the Troll Skulls, I think they were like a rebel group or something, but they snuck in and they took these two, and they are now my vassals. They only have these two. Now, I can declare war on them and take them out at any time. A little bit of a pain for them to be there, but they're my vassals, so it doesn't matter really. I then... so Manfred von Karstein alone basically took this entire area, took all of this. He went down to the Dragon Isles, took all of that. His army basically is unbeatable at this point, so he could do a lot of stuff alone. He took the Dragon Isles, he took the Plain of Bones, and the Plain of Bones is pretty cool if you're undead, because you get this awesome Graves of Dragons building in the Darkhold. And in the Asteridge Mountains, you also get this special building here, the Tower of Bloody Tooth. So it's a pretty cool little region to control if you're undead. So yeah, Manfred came this way. Then Helmund Gorst, he was hanging out down here in the Misty Mountains at the start of the campaign. He went this way and took Lamia. He took hold on a minute. Sorry. Why don't we? Well, we'll go do that. Okay. He took this big town here, Lamier. He actually had a backup from a number of other guys. There were about 3 of them who came down this way. And then they basically mopped up down here. Ooh! What's this then? Oh, right, okay. So they haven't... I think they're allied to me, these guys. They have re-emerged, these bastards. Who are they? Them. They don't have any settlements, but they're back on the map, basically. They've re-emerged from somewhere. But I think that I made a deal with them. Look, they're trade partners with me, even though they don't have any settlements. Anyway, now the lizard men, they did put up a fight. It wasn't much of a fight, it has to be said. It was mainly like knife through butter through all of this stuff. But down here we got a bit more bogged down, partly because there's so much land in between, and if you're undead, they take attritional damage if they're on non-corrupted land. So Hermann Gorst came down here. He actually took a few wounds and had to go back and die and re-emerge and stuff. But I had 3 or 4 lords come down this way. One went this way, one went that way. Manfred was over on this island, and then he took a boat across. He took a boat across here and came down, and we took the Cursed Jungle, the Serpent Coast, the Temple of Skulls. Yeah, I took the lot, basically. Golden. There's a few cool things down here, like this Golden Tower's got special building. Yeah, lots of special buildings in these regions. So essentially I control the entire East Coast. Look, all of the East Coast, all the way up, all the way up, all the way up, all the way up, all the way up to there. I control the East Coast, and I control the what do they call them? The World's Edge Mountains. Not just the north part, the entire World Edge Mountains are mine, with a couple of exceptions. As you can see, there's this, I don't have that territory there, but basically all of the World's Edge Mountains are mine, and mine alone. So what else happened in the last 150 turns in this little after action report? So my campaign against the lizard men went very well. Here's the other thing about the diplomacy. Considering I was giving like 50 grand, 100 grand to the French and the Empire, the cool-off rate of those deals was really fast as well. So they were like, after a few turns and stuff, they were back demanding more. Or so I've given huge amounts of money to the Empire and to the French, basically to not have war. And if you have a look, he's still only neutral. So all of the stuff I paid off him, all of the money I've given, is already degraded down to 13. I mean, it's wild. And if I have a look at the Empire, I mean, look, the Empire's gone down to minus 74. We've just about got this non-aggression pact still going, but every once in a while he'll cancel it, and I have to give him another 100 grand. So, yeah, I mean, that situation won't be able to last forever. Essentially, I am being extorted by the Empire and by the French as things stand. If you have a look, I think their war against the elves are going pretty well, because the Dark Elves, who have their stronghold up here, it's just a bastard, by the way. It just doesn't matter what happens, he is hostile. They had, if you remember, over 60 and it seems like the Empire, generally speaking, are defeating the Dark Elves in their war, which has been ongoing while I've been fighting the Lizard Men. So anyway, I took all of this. The Lizard Men also had some territories down here, which I took in this kind of desert region down here, the Shifting Sands. And then what happened is that there were a number of dwarf groups. Here's one of them, they're still around. The, I forgot what they're called now. Greybeards Prospectors. They exist, look how hostile they are. Basically, there was a coalition of dwarves and woodmen, of tree guys, who declared war on me all at once. And they declared war, and I was forced basically to, remember now, all of my troops were over here. I was forced basically to leg it all the way over here to the Blood River Valley, Western Badlands region, and I took. There was one faction of dwarves who are now destroyed. One of them, they had one region here, and they had another region up here, which I've taken. The provinces I've taken. So they're gone, and I also then, they had territories up here. Actually, they didn't. There was a wood. The character's name was Orion. They were called the Tail. What were they called? The region is called after them as well. They were called the Talzin. Now, the Talzin also, as part of this coalition of bloody dwarves and woodmen, when they all declared war, they were pretty hard, actually. And I had to send... I took several defeats in that battle. You can see the remnants of those defeats dotted around here. They were hard. Now, I will say that I don't fight every battle. I use the auto-resolve. Otherwise, you'd be there, all day, all night, every single day playing this game. So, when it, like routine victories and things, I tend to play it when it comes up with a kind of close defeat, or when the auto resolve is not giving you a clear victory, and I think, well, actually I should be able to win this if I play it. Those are the battles I play. So I would say like one in every 3 maybe I play, and I auto resolve the rest. It's just pointless to play through, oh yeah, here's your army of 100, here's your army of thousands of skeletons and zombies against like 4 men and stuff like that. There's just no point. But anyway, they had a territory here and up here. These were all kind of Talzin territories, and slowly but surely I had to use chump armies first, which were losing. And eventually, after many turns, Helmund Gorst and von Karstein and etc. were able to finally make it across to fight this war properly. They were hard, though. They were very hard. That group, the Talzin, I'm not sure what race they are. Maybe there are some other races still around of that type. It's these people. It's this type, I think. I don't know what you call those, but they how can I say? They were having matchups where they had like, I was having matchups where they had like literally, I don't know, like 20 actual units on the map against a horde of the undead, and knights and all sorts of things, and they were still winning. So they've got some very hard troops. Some of those big trees and things are hard to take down, and for whatever reason they play I found the undead played not very well against them. They don't seem to go down to the same sort of tactics as the lizard men were. So this was quite the fight, actually, over on this end. But I got them in the end, and they're wiped out now. And I've taken this thing called the Oak of Ages, which gives, look at the boom this gives you. +5 growth in all provinces. Immune to forest attrition. 100% income from all buildings in all regions. I mean, it's pretty good, isn't it? So, the Oak of Ages. There's Manfred, fresh after his... This was a few turns back now this happened. I've had a few turns of just chilling out. One thing that happened in between is that after I defeated those these dwarves here, they had territories there and there, and some of these were controlled by those dwarves as well. The lizard men weren't down here; it was those bloody dwarves. But I took them out. After I defeated those dwarves, what happened was that I then thought, well, maybe I can game the diplomacy more. And again, using huge amounts of cash, I paid off the other dwarves, which are down here somewhere. These dwarves here. I paid them off to become my vassals. And I also paid off... we're talking huge sums of money, like 100 grand plus. I paid off some of these other groups over here as well, including those tree guys, to become vassal. That lasted literally like 5 turns or something, and then they all declared war again. So that was just a huge waste of time, effort, resources. I'm still learning the game, friend. I'm still learning what you can and can't do in this. But yeah, that vassalage lasted a very short amount of time. They all declared war again. And that's what led to this expansion over here. So if you have a look, at the map up here, this is what my current territories look like. And I mean, the problem is that I was hoping the Dark Elves would do a bit better against the Empire, but because the Empire are looking really strong now. Where's the Empire? The Empire have 92 territories. I've got an alliance with these the Awakened on the Vampire Coast. They're down here. I do have another. Is that my only alliance? Oh yeah, and I've got an alliance with the Scourge of Aquitaine, who are a horde. So those are my allies. But okay, the war against the lizard men went better than I thought it would. Actually, I ended up wiping them out pretty much. They're gone. I mean, I may, just to kind of mop up, I may get rid of these as vassals and just take those over. So, I don't have to worry about them sneak attacking or whatever. But now, I'm putting off the inevitable, really. At what point do I bite the bullet and fight the Empire? Is there a way of fighting the Frenchies with... is there a way of putting a line between the Empire and the Frenchies? Where are the Frenchies? These. They're looking strong as well, see? Because the way I see it, it's going to come down to a 4-way fight between myself, the Dark Elves, the French, and the Empire. If I can get him to ally with me against the Empire, that would be good. Still says, by the way, that there's still a number 1 rank. They're still saying the Dark Elves are the number 1 strength. So, yeah, the trouble with the Dark Elves is that they are fucking mad. I'm like, oh, here's 150 grand. No, not going to do it. No, I'm not going to make peace. Oh, no. I mean, they are mental. They won't, it doesn't matter how much money you send to them, they turn stuff down. And then even if you do get them to do something, it doesn't last. So I don't know. I found the French and the Empire to be a bit more reasonable when it comes to the diplomacy. So you kind of, I know it's not that thematic or whatever, but I'm tempted to ally with one of them. The trouble is that they are allied with each other, and I would like to drive a wedge, ideally between the French and the Empire. If I could side with the Empire against the French, maybe that would give me all of the south. If I could sweep that way. The trouble is, I fear these battles. I fear that they're strong. Like they're stronger than the lizard men. It was easy to pick off fights with them and the bloody, the Ard boys earlier on. I mean, the thing is that defending this entire west border is going to be tricky. I prefer to have a situation where I only have to defend a narrow amount. And, I have with these takings, I have the French surrounded. If you think about it, I can attack this way, I can attack that way, I can attack this way. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 possible fronts. I can attack from the north, the east, the southeast, and from the west, as things stand. Whereas with the Empire, they are just too. I just have too many points of contact with them, and what I fear is if there's a war over here, for example, they can sweep through there. They can sweep through there. They can sweep through there, and it's going to be pretty difficult to have all these bases covered. So it's going to be a long, drawn-out war. I just can't be facing that. Whereas I feel like if I didn't have to worry about the Empire, I could hit the French for 6 quickly. Get all my main armies down here. Get Manfred and co back. I mean, I've got Ludwig. He's pretty strong at this point. Yeah, he's a level 17. Helmut Gorse is a level 40. I've got a few strong ones. Dirk the Woodcutter, called so because he destroyed the wood guys. He's a level 21. Manfred's a level 40. I've got a few strong armies now. This bitch here, she's a level 29. She took a few settlements herself. I have firepower and I've got shitloads of money. So this guy is another. He's quite young. But what I'm saying is I've got the firepower to fight a war against one of them. What I don't have is firepower to fight against 2 of them at once. I can't be in a situation where I'm defending this entire region against the Empire. I'd fancy it more if I took out the French. So that's my preference. The trouble is that, as you can see, the Empire don't like me very much. And despite the fact I have this tenuous situation where we're currently trade partners, I had to give 100 grand for that. And in a few turns' time, he's going to cancel it again. And he's going to ask for more money. And when they cancel it, it says, oh, well, he could be gearing up for war. So, and then the other thing is, the Dark Elves are basically not, you can't deal with them. Can't deal with them at all. They're just, for love nor money, basically. They're very uncooperative, even though you're literally throwing them 200 grand. So, yes, there are... we're at another crossroads now. The lizard men have been dealt with. My preference, try to find a way to placate the Empire, and even if it takes literally a million dark magic or whatever, I can just give them as much money as it takes to placate them, so that I can fight against the Bretons, the French, whatever they're called, the Bretonnians, one-on-one, because I think I'm well placed to take all of this. Ideally, I want all of this area here, and I think it's pretty much all. I'm already at war with these douchebags, and since they were already paid off and then betrayed me, I'm pretty pissed off about that. I've got the Awakened who will join that war against the French. Don't know who these guys are, but I don't know if I'll be able to go all the way over here, maybe. But my ideal thing is to just take the rest of this landmass, all of this here, so that if and when I do face the Empire, I've got a huge, I've basically got all of this. Actually, it looks a bit like Great Britain now that I look at it, the shape of this landmass. But yeah, and it's nice. Now I don't really have to worry about defending many of these. They can't get over here, and because the strength of the vampiric corruption is so much, even if this dude tried to sneak a knight through here and down to there, the attrition would almost kill him before he got there. So I'm feeling pretty confident if I can engineer the war against the French. Trouble is, at the moment, they're not biting on any of the offers. I may have to start giving crazy money, but we'll see. All right, that's just the update. I'll see you again next time.